if you look at what a nation is, the hardware part of it is basically boundaries, a government, issues to do with national emblems, flag, those kind of things. And the software of what a nation is then the value system that bring the people, the political community together. Language could be part of it, but not a very serious identity, but it is part of it. The cultural norm, the ethos, shared history, and those kind of things. If you take that classical definition, then you clearly understand that Kenya as a nation has been evolving. In fact, when the colonials came, there was no nation in Kenya. There was just a vast area, geographical area full of economic opportunity that they came to exploit. And along the way, over time, they tried to create a nation here. So we've been struggling with this for a very long time. And in terms of our politics, the first election of 1957, if you look clearly, tribalism was not very present, except from the colonial perspective, because they completely refused that a Kikuyu would not run in that election of 1957. In fact, there was no candidate, a Kikuyu candidate in 57 election. They even wanted to create a voter roll where one individual could have up to 9 votes, whether you are paying taxes, you are educated, you are a Christian, you are not a polygamist, you know, those kind of things. And if you go even further, 1961 election, where now everybody was allowed to contest, the contestation was not about tribes. In Nairobi here, if both 57 and 61 elections, Mboya ran as a Kikuyu candidate. And most of his voters were from there. Achieng' Oneko ran in Nakuru. The Luos could not elect him in Nakuru. So this ethnicization of our politics came much later, though the seeds were planted by the colonialists. If you go to the University of Nairobi and you go to the archives, you'll find annual reports that either the governor or whoever was running Kenya, you know, at one point in time, the most powerful man in Kenya would either be the Postmaster General or the MD of Kenya Railways or the governor. Those three would run Kenya. And each year they prepared a report on the ethnic groups of Kenya. And they profiled us. And there are some comments that are not very flattering in those reports. But a lot of those things have continued to fester in our minds and in our politics. But going forward, we need to reflect on what happened immediately after independence. If you look at Tom Mboya's book, Challenge of Nationhood, he was struggling with this thing, even in Freedom and After, the multiplicity of transitions that Kenya was going through, and how a nation could be crafted out of Kenya. And to me, the national identity in Kenya will not be around tribes or around a dress. It will be about values, and our constitution gives us the pathway, which is, if you look at our preamble, the aspirational aspects of the constitution, as well as Article 10, our national values and principles. That is what our identity should be. An American identifies by the values around which they coalesce. So I think for Kenya, our national identity must be built on our values, particularly Article 10, Article 232, and the preamble of our constitution.
Okay.
Yeah.